Hello and welcome to a look at annual bond pricing with me, Andy Duncan at Finlingo.com. The theory behind pricing a bond, particularly a simple annual bond which pays one coupon a year, is relatively straightforward. Because human beings have time preferences where they prefer something now rather than later, the promise of a cash sum becomes less and less valuable the further away that the cash lies in time. This basic human principle gives rise to interest rates. It also allows us to price bonds. So let's do an example of a 3-year $100 bond paying a 10% coupon with the desired market interest rate for this Finlingo Corporation bond of 20%. Yes, we live on the ragged edge. We're going to get 4 payments with 3 coupon payments over 3 years at $10 each, with a $100 principal payment coming back to us in 3 years alongside that last coupon. Now we can use the prevailing interest rate for Finlingo Corporation of 20% to figure out what these different cash payments are worth to us today. We divide each cash payment by 1 plus the market interest rate, raised to the compounding power of the year that we receive the money. So 10 becomes 8.33, 10 becomes 6.94, and 10 becomes 5.79. We can see that as these future payments lie further and further away from us in time, their present values become less and less valuable to us. Finally, we also present value that big final principal payment, then we add up all 4 values to figure out the overall price for the bond. And we find that the sum comes to $78.94. So far, so good. But in the typical financial exam, we have about 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer every question. So this way of present valuing all these different cash flows for even a simple bond like this is just going to take too long. So what can we do? Well, we can make use of a financial calculator, and this can really speed up the process. We understand the basic idea, we just need to do it quicker. I've put together an Excel scratchpad, and this mimics the typical behaviour of one of these financial calculators. We need to input 4 values. First, the maturity of the bond in years. Second, the required market yield for this particular bond, which takes into account its risk of default. Third, the principal payment that we'll hopefully receive in 3 years. And finally, by using the supplied coupon rate, we can calculate and then input the annual coupon payment. We do this by multiplying the supplied coupon rate against the principal par value. Once we've entered the 4 key values into our calculator, we can now compute a 5th value, the price of the bond, which is just the sum of the 4 payments we mentioned earlier. This answer will usually be a negative number, but this just reflects the direction of money flowing in or out of your pocket. Reverse this number to get an actual bond price. I've used the PV command, which is built into Excel, to mimic a compute PV button on a financial calculator. They both get the same sum we did by hand earlier. And that's pretty much it for calculating the price of an annual bond. It's quite straightforward, we just need to do it quickly every time without making any silly mistakes. Let's try a sample question on Finlingo.com. As always, isolate the key figures and ignore any deliberately misleading information. Once you've got the right numbers, plug these into your financial calculator, then compute the answer. My scratchpad tells me that this is the answer. Now I just go back to Finlingo and check if this is one of the answers supplied. Click it and then move on to the next question until you've got this method locked down cold and you can do it accurately every time in 60 seconds or less. Get over now to Finlingo.com to sign up and to practice pricing annual bonds under exam conditions. Finlingo. Speak finance fluently.